Hello, my name is Professor René van der Hulst. I'm one of the contributors to this book, Doctors Are Not Murderers. I wrote a chapter on breast reconstruction.
It's great to be here at Maastricht, and it's great to be with Professor Hulst, who's written this chapter called Can I Get My Breasts Back? I wanted to know from Dr. Hulst, how did he think about this? What did this patient teach him? And what are the things that he would like to speak about to our viewers?
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah, was really an honor to give this contribution to your book, because I already heard your first book, which was really a success, and then you asked me whether I could contribute to this book, and I was thinking about what kind of patients I would like to mention in this book. And we see a lot of patients with breast cancer, with breast amputations, and we can really change their lives after reconstruction. So I thought about one example, and I just wanted to tell the story about this patient, how important it is to restore function, and not only aesthetics but also sensibility of the breast after having breast cancer. And I think it's very important to address this kind of issues for the general public.
Governments tend to think that treating breast cancer is all about removing the breast and getting rid of the cancer. How important is it for a woman to have her breast back to feel like a woman again?
People with breast cancer have a very increased survival. It used to be, like say, decades ago, when you had breast cancer, it was really a terrible disease. But nowadays, most women with breast cancer are cured. So we address much more quality of life, and it's unbelievable how much restoration of a breast helps to increase the quality of life, and also to give this woman their lives back. Because breasts are, it seems a little bit odd, but breasts are very important for a woman's quality of life. And that's one of the things I just, as a man, I actually didn't know that it was so important for most of women. Of course, there are also women for which it's not important, and then you don't do a breast reconstruction, but if it's important for them, we can at least offer it.
In the last 2 decades, when you have gone from your training to actually being a full-blown professor now, how have things changed in terms of breast reconstruction? Not in terms of the surgery, but in terms of women wanting them, and in terms of the holistic treatment for these women who have had their breast removed because of breast cancer. How have things changed?
Yeah, well, you ask if there, of course, there are technical developments, and what we are doing is much more reconstruction with autologous tissue nowadays. But we also give the women their possibility to choose what kind of. It's more like shared decision. So we ask them what kind of tissue they want, where they want it from. Sensibility is a thing that developed much more due to my colleague Dr. Twinder, who did a lot of research on that field. So that makes really sensitive breasts again, sensation in the breasts. It feels much more natural, and also what I said, the shared decision making and the care around the process, the psychological care around the process of the surgery became much more important, and it's also incorporated into the guidelines here in the Netherlands that we need to give these patients psychological support if they want that, of course.
So just for the general public, you are saying that if the breasts have to be removed because of cancer, we can recreate them. Just for the general public, a couple of questions. 1, can you recreate the breast to look like the original breast? 2, can you recreate the nipple just like the original nipple is? 3, can this breast still have sexual function, which means are they as sensitive, because the breast is also an erogenous organ. So is it as sensitive as it is for women who still have their natural breasts?
The first question, it's always difficult to guarantee whether the breast reconstruction will be the same as the original breast. And of course, you will always get scars, and it's you have to prepare the patient that we cannot guarantee that we will have the same breast as we had before, and sometimes it's not that nice, but at least we can create a much better result than after an amputation, or if we don't do any breast reconstruction. So it's important to discuss about expectations, because of course we cannot always make the breast as it was. The second thing is, can we make a nipple? Yes, we can make a nipple, but also for that we cannot guarantee that it will be exactly as it was before the surgery. And sometimes we can preserve the nipple, and then the nipple is like it was before, but often that's not possible, and then we can create a nipple, and there are several techniques for that, surgical techniques. We mostly combine medical tattoo with a surgical procedure. The third question, sensation. Sexual sensation is something different, erogenous sensation, than just feeling and feeling pressure and feeling if something is in the bra. Sexual sensation, especially of the nipple, is a much more difficult thing, and it's most often it cannot be restored yet. Of course, we're doing a lot of research on restoration of sensation, as I said. Opportunity is one of the main fields. Also, how it works in the brain, and we see that, for instance, if we reconnect nerves for in breast reconstruction, it works. It still gets better after years. But the thing is, erogenous sensation is a much more complex thing, and it's not always. It's mostly not restored.
In 2050, 25 years from now, what do you think the field of breast reconstruction will look like?
Oh, that's a very, very interesting but also very complicated question, because I think the importance of medical treatment will be much more. And the question is whether I think we will do less breast reconstructions, because of medical treatment, breast cancer will be more getting smaller due to medical treatment, and so the surgery will also become less, or at least breast amputation will be less common used and more breast conservative therapy. If we still do the breast reconstruction, I think the methods we can use are much broader, and I think at that time the use of implants as we know them now will be used less and less.
It's been a pleasure to be with Professor Hulst, and if you want to read about his wonderful chapter and other chapters here been written, it's an anthology of real life stories of courage, hope, conviction, medicine and science. And if you want to read more, this is the book that you're supposed to read. Thanks a lot once again for hearing or listening to Professor Hulst and myself.
Thank you again also for being here, and I enjoyed really to work with you together.
Thank you.